So in this video, we'll create a Python script or a Python program to control a Fire Stick. So to do that, you will need ADB platform tools, and those platform tools directory should be in your environment variables. Now I've made a separate video for that, and you can watch. I will give the link in the description of that video. So let's start. So first you should have PyCharm, or you can use any other editor, and we will create a script called fscontroller.py, and we will import some modules. The first one is subprocess and the second one is PySimpleGUI. We will import this module as sg, and after that we will create a function called execute this adb and pass an argument called code, and this will execute the adb shell commands with the help of subprocess.pipe open method. So here we are having a cmd object. This is a command object, and we will pass some arguments in this. The first one is code, the second one is standard output, and we will use subprocess.pipe value, and the second one standard error, which is to be none, and the shell's boolean value true. And now we will have to print the output of this command object. To do that, we will use command object's name, then dot communicate, and the subscript value, the first value should be the output, so we will use 0. And now let's make uh, another functions like the one we want to use. For example, we want to use the up button. Now we will pass the adb shell commands in this functions. So this is the adb shell input key event command, and you will have to need you will need a key code to execute these shell commands, and these key codes can be found in this git link. I will give this link in the description also. Now these are the key codes that you will need in the tutorial. I will be using some basic ones. You can choose whichever you want. And let's thank the user for sharing this. So this is our first function called up, and we will just copy paste it and make uh, any number of functions we want for every button: up, down, right, left, back, menu, and even home. Just write the codes from the uh, list. Now we will create a main method to connect our Fire Stick with a computer. So to do that, first we will have to use the same function, execute this adb. So first we will have to disconnect any adb devices that we have connected to our PC. So then after disconnecting, we will connect our Fire Stick. My Fire Stick IP is 192.168.0.104. So this is a local IP. You will have to check your IP from your router. You can just check in the DHCP client list. You will get the IP address for your Fire Stick. Now we will make the layout. For the layout, we will create the first row. The first row will contain just one button called up. Then we will create some other rows. For example, after up, we will go down vertically, and we will have some buttons like left, then select, and then a right button. In the third row, we will have a down button. In the fourth row, we will have back button and menu button. Now we will pass these 4 rows in our layout. So we'll create this layout, and in this layout we will feature our 4 rows. So how do we do that? We will use sg.frame method, and we will provide the layout as row 1, and the title would be empty. And just like that, we will add the other remaining rows too, and separate them with comma. Now we will feed this layout into the window creation method of PySimple GUI. To do that, we will create a window object, and we will use the methods sg.window, and the name of the window will be fs controller, which is short form for Fire Stick controller, and we will pass the layout. And now we will to run the GUI, we will have to create a while loop. While the loop is true, our GUI will run or and show on screen. So as you can see, this is our GUI. I have up button, left button, select button, right button, down, and back and menu. You can add uh, many number of buttons if you want. Now let's work on the mechanism of the remote. So to do that, we will capture the event variable. This event variable will get the value that which button is being pressed. So if the event variable says up, we will call the function up. And just like that, we will call all the function corresponding to their event values. So let's run our GUI once again, and let's try it. So I have a tool called screen copy which can mirror my Fire Stick to my computer. So I'll use that tool to show you guys that our program is working. So as you can see, this is my home on Fire Stick. Now we'll be using the remote. So I have pressed down. So it went down, and I press it again. Now it's on ES File Explorer. Now I press right, it's on Internet. Now I press right again, and you can see it is working. The down button is working too. The up button is working too. The menu button is not working. So I did a mistake there. I'll tell you that how to fix that. Now on how to fix it. So there was a problem in the code. I copied back 2 times. I should have written menu in the events value. Now as you can see, the menu button is working. Now you guys can use any button you can see here. For example, play, pause, fast forward, rewind. I use the basic ones to express the idea. Now we are having some errors exiting the remote. To do that, we will create another button called exit. So we will have to create another row for that. Let's create another row called row 5. And in this row, we will add the button called exit. Now we will now we will give it now we will give it a condition too. So the condition will be event is equal to exit, and we will just break the loop. Now when we break the loop, the GUI will automatically be terminated. Now we can even have a custom button. Now if you want a YouTube video to be played by just a click of a button, you can do that. So this is the button for that. Now we will pass our adb shell command line, and this would be a adb shell aim start minus a android dot intent dot action dot view, and minus d. And after this you will use the you should use the URL. For example, this is a news channel which always stay live 24/7, and my grandma says like, please play the news. So I have to get up from my computer and mm, pick up the Fire Stick and play it for her. So I can do this with just a button of a click, with just a click of a button. By this, so we will have to use two types of quotation marks, the single one and the double one, because we have a string in a string. So now I've started the program. Now let's see if it works. Now as you can see, I'm on home of my YouTube. Even if you are not on, if your YouTube is not running, it will work. So I have, my GUI is not updated. I see I did a mistake there too. So I did not add the row in the layout. So let's just add the row number 5. And another condition for custom button. Now this will call the custom width function. Now let's run the program again. Now here's my remote, and I start the Fire Stick controller. Now I'll press the custom button and it's on. There's a news cell. There's the a popular Indian news channel that we just launched with just a click of a button in a few seconds. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions about this, you can tell me in the comment section, and I'll be providing the links, the helpful links that you'll need. And see you in the next video.